Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. The host Fred Arnold on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Tony Strickland. Tony Strickland, longtime friend of the Santa Clarita Valley and of the show. And he's running for Congress. He's a candidate for the Republican nomination for the 25th District for Congress. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Fred, thanks so much for having me on.
I'm excited to have you. There's a long tradition here in the Santa Clarita Valley of, sensible governing. And Buck McKeon did a great job for well over 20 years, chairman of the Armed Services Committee. And I know that you want to step in to help bring those same values that you have, that he has, to the Santa Clarita Valley, don't you?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, Buck McKeon is someone I have enormous admiration for, and it's extremely humbling that he's supporting my campaign for Congress. Here's a congressman, Chairman Buck McKeon, who's most congressmen have never been chair of one committee. He's been chair of two major standing committees, and he's doing a remarkable job as the chairman of the Armed Services Committee. And he's just done a remarkable job for the Santa Clarita Valley. He's done a remarkable job for our country, and I'm honored to have his support for my campaign for Congress.
I want to talk about the budget. The budget is something that I'm very concerned about. We have mounting liabilities, Social Security, we have unfunded mandates. What is your philosophy towards budgeting within our country, and how would you like to help govern, if you will, the budget, our national budget?
We have to have a balanced budget. No different than every family across the Santa Clarita Valley. They have kitchen table discussions, and they have to make hard choices. They don't go out to eat as much. They don't go to the movies as much, and they have to make hard decisions to balance their budget. There's no reason why elected officials back in Washington shouldn't have to do the same thing. We're borrowing against our kids' future. One of the main reasons why I'm running is because I think this country's on the wrong track. And, I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they deserve to grow up in California I grew up in. And for the first time in American history, that's in question. Are we going to leave our next generation in a better spot or a better position within our community than we had? Our parents before us left us in a better position, and it's up to this generation to do the same thing for our next generation. And elections are about the future, and the debt is a major problem. It's a major concern, and we can't be borrowing against our children's future to pay for bills today. So we have to make those tough decisions, like every family has to do in their personal budget.
I couldn't agree with you more, Tony. And that is, you hit it right on the head. We must treat it as our own pocketbook, like we have to do every day. We can't continue to go back and use this country as an ATM. I want to talk to you about going across party lines, because one of the things Congressman McKeon had to do, and he was very successful, is going across party lines in his own committee, because he's fighting for our military, all of us, not Republican, not Democrat, but for all of us. What's your philosophy towards going across party lines and being able to come to a consensus on sensible legislation?
I had a great reputation in Sacramento working well across party lines, and I think part of it is my background playing sports as a kid. I played basketball, I played every sport, and if you think about it, when you're in athletics, you have different people come from different backgrounds that work together for a common goal, to hard work and success and victory. It's the same thing. When we go back to either Sacramento or Washington, D.C., you have to work with everybody involved and for the greater good of our country, the greater good of our community. And I always look at my colleagues and try to build up relationships. And I could disagree without being disagreeable. But if I agree with someone, 20, 30% of the time, I'm going to focus on that 20, 30% that we can work together to make our country a better place. And I think that's important for all elected officials to do what they can, to work where they can. There are always going to be disagreements. No one's going to agree with you 100% of the time. But about, what leadership really is about working with people and advancing for the betterment of your community and your country.
Yeah, and it's about both community and our country. You do serve both. Some people say, well, you just need to focus on the community. No. You deal with many national issues, and you have to be able to look at both. Tony, the election, the primaries, when are they, and how can people find out more information about Tony Strickland?
98 days from today. It's on June 2nd, so it's coming up on us. I mean, I know a lot of people in the Santa Clarita Valley are focused on the city council race in April, as they should. But this race is right around the corner. It's 98 days. To find out more about my campaign, you can go to TonyStrickland.com. Would love to have you come and join our team in our effort to hopefully be a strong voice, a leader. God willing, no one will work harder than me as the next congressman if I'm lucky enough to be the next congressman representing the 25th Congressional District.
Tony, I appreciate all your philosophies. I appreciate all your commitments. I appreciate your service to both our state when you did serve our state, and of course, looking forward to having you serve the 25th District in Congress. Thanks so much, Tony.
Well, Fred, I'm very grateful for your friendship, and I want to thank you for your leadership in what you've done for the Santa Clarita Valley and everything you've done to make the Santa Clarita Valley a better place to live.
Thanks, Tony. I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks at my office, and until then, make it a great day.
Thanks, Fred, for having me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Strickland running for the 25th District for Congress here in the Santa Clarita Valley. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be right back on AM 1220 KHTS.